Hors d'oeuvres. Welcome back to Leilani of Barbados Courthouse. We are gathered here today. I'm not sure if they say that in court, but we are gathered here today to discuss all the lies that Meghan Markle ever did tell. Now, these lies have been compiled from across the internet, so I might need your help with some of them. Please put down in the comments any of your insights that you might have. This is an open courtroom. I have put pages 1 through 3 of the lies in a playlist that I will link here. Anyway, let's jump straight in. We are on page 4, number 119. Meghan Markle claimed she was prepared to work as a royal, yet only did 72 engagements. Well, I think that speaks for itself. Number 120, inconsistencies surrounding where did the elephant's money go? Many questions regarding the final destination of Meg's compensation for elephant. How much was she paid? Did Disney pay her directly? Was 100% of her compensation donated to Elephants Without Borders? Has Elephants Without Borders actually received any money related to this? As we know, Meghan Markle did this voiceover for this elephants thing where she was like,
Gaia must show the lions her family is strong.
Disney said that they made X amount of money and we don't know whatever happened to it and how much Meghan was given out of that money. So was it for charity or not? Number 121 claimed she was in the royal family for 4 years. Now, if you go to AI, it will tell you 18 months is not 4 years. 18 months is only 1.5 years, as there are 12 months in a year. It's very troubling how she finds it okay to just recreate history. Number 122. First royal speech, she lied about grants and scholarships. That was her speech in Fiji, where she urged girls to pay their way through college and that she got scholarships and worked her way through, etc., etc. Meghan received academic scholarships, she said, academic achievement to reduce her tuition. Meghan participated in work-study programs where she worked on campus after class to help pay for her tuition. Anyways, Meghan's father, Thomas Markle, later claimed that Meghan was lying about paying her way through college and that he paid for her entire tuition. However, Meghan's lawyers added in a filing to her lawsuit against the Mail on Sunday that Thomas Markle did not pay for all of her college tuition. So there you go. Number 123, Saudi blood diamonds story. Oh, this was good. I remember this. Mystery behind Meghan Markle's blood-soaked earrings from Saudi Crown Prince and how royal staff were too scared to ask why she was wearing them is unraveled in new book. So she lied about where the diamonds came from in the very first state dinner. She lied to the British royal family staff and team and said that the jewelry was a loan from a jeweler, but she never said who or where or what or how, girl. Remember I said it in my last video, this is a never see come see. She just had to wear them. Even though, as we know, between mid-October and early November 2018, The Economist ran at least 2 articles examining the role of Mohammed bin Salman in the unaliving of Jamal Khashoggi. That's why she wasn't allowed to wear them. So she just lied and said they're not from where you think they're from. Lie number 124 claimed she set up the Grenfell charity. Okay, I'm very familiar with this. She basically profited from the victims of the Grenfell fires. She decided to do a cookbook with them where she took all the profits. Meghan is on the front cover, therefore she can claim rights to it. What else do you want to know? Meghan Markle reached out to Hub Community Kitchen on the anniversary of the Grenfell Tower fire. So here is some footage of her helping out in getting her profits from this cookbook. Oh, get out of my way, chair. Girl, don't play. Oh, who's somebody else trying to get in my way? Oh, no, it's okay. And then she's talking to them. And then she's talking to them again here. She does this thing I've noticed where she talks to people and she's like, she furrows her brow like this. And she's like, are you convinced by me yet? Yeah, she's doing it when she does her speech. Only a liar speaks like this. Lie number 125, Frogmore wasn't special enough for them. Trust Omid Scobie to make this hilarious. Omid Scobie tweets a little afternoon visit to RCT's Frogmore house to see what the fuss is all about. You can see why Harry and Meghan like it so much. They were not housed at Frogmore House, they were put in Frogmore Cottage. Which might explain why Meghan was like, what is this? As compared to Frogmore House. You can see from this picture that there are no dishes, plates, or anything in the cabinets behind Harry. Meghan was ready to leave as soon as she moved in. Lie number 126 claimed she did not wear bright colors. Well, this is her in the royal family wearing bright colors. I don't know what else you want me to show you. Evidence is before you. Lie number 127, Harry said that no other royal family member served in the military. Here you have an article which tells you all the people who served in the military, starting with his truly Prince Harry, Prince William, King Charles III, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, Prince Edward, Queen Elizabeth II, in fact, Prince Michael of Kent, Prince Philip, King George VI. This is so insane that they have a platform that can go out there and speak and just lie. I'm sorry, I know I'm stating the obvious, but I just can't get over it. Lie number 128. Harry never was able to ride on the back of his father's bike as a child. And here we have the evidence of him literally riding on the back of his father's bike whilst William rides his own bike. And then we just have them bike riding again. Lie number 129. Harry raised in Africa by someone else. Girl. When you are public facing for your whole life, so much so that Harry is suing everybody to say that they were constantly photographing him and constantly documenting his life and he didn't like that and now he wants to sue about it. When you have that, can you really come out and pretend you were raised by somebody else other than the family we saw you with your entire life? So apparently Prince Harry was raised by Mr. Rhinoceros, who you see here. One thing we do know that is true is that Harry wanted Archie to be raised in Africa at some point, but we know that Meghan would not have any part of that because she has a extreme disdain for culture and black people. Prince Harry's friend named Jane Goodall reveals he wanted to raise son Archie in Africa where he could run barefoot with the native children is what he actually said. Instead, he got Hollywood, honey! Lie number 130, Meghan Markle blamed Harry for Meghan Markle not having a father. I am not sure what that's about. If you know what that is all about, please put down in the comments. Pop quiz time. How did marrying a prince make you not have a father anymore? Anyway, lie number 131. Fire in Archie's bedroom in South Africa. Well, I do know that one. Okay, so I remember in order to disparage all of the hospitality that they received in South Africa, Meghan Markle started talking about some fire in Archie's bedroom. Listen to what she said.
What? There's been a fire in the baby's room. What?
I feel like you don't even respond that way, except Oprah. What? I feel like you would say, is my child hurt? Do we have to go to the hospital? What's been damaged? But just, what? My hearing is not so good. What?
There's been a fire in the baby's room. What? The heater in the nursery caught on fire. He was supposed to be sleeping in there.
Okay, so tragedy averted. This is coming like the boy who cried wolf, just talking about foolishness that didn't even happen to her. Anyway, let's move on to lie number 132, shall we? Press intrusion in Tutu's residence. Although the snap appeared to be intrusive, it was actually taken by a photographer who was part of an accredited press pack at Archbishop Desmond Tutu's home. Meghan Markle is not satisfied with saying the press is hounding her, which is not true. She is not satisfied by lying on only herself. She must lie on you too. And you too, Tutu. Girl. Lie 133. Forced to stay in a housing unit in South Africa.
The moment we landed, we had to drop him off at this housing unit that they had us staying in.
There's a housing unit. They had the whole of this property, by the way. These are not apartments or townhouses or condos. They had the use of this entire property. Number 134, Desmond Tutu held Archie. What a silly thing to lie about, right? You would think. Meghan Markle said he was an icon for racial justice and beloved across the world. It was only 2 years ago that he held our son Archie while we were in South Africa. Arch and the Arch, he had joked, his infectious laughter ringing through the room, relaxing anyone in his presence. Well, girl, we saw the pictures. You were guarding your child so hard that you would think that you were trying to hide him from Mr. Tutu. You can also see that Mr. Tutu is using a cane. So how would he have held this big child in his arms? And he didn't. I am still unable to find a picture where Desmond Tutu held Archie or breastfed him or changed his nappies or anything like that. Lie number 135, H claimed he was chased by paparazzi after well-child event. Meghan's mole very cleverly debunked this. There's always evidence, she says. Harry was never in any trouble after the well-child event. If memory serves me right, she says, that was the same event he got mad at a young boy for asking about seeing a photo of Lily. Allegedly, these are photos of him leaving the well-child event. As you can see, the paps are nowhere to be seen. He's delusional. By the way, Meghan's mole, I do know her now, and we're actually friends. So beef quashed, move on. Shout out to her, go and subscribe to her on her channel. She does really good work. Number 136, forced to continue work despite Archie's room being in a fire. I thought we just debunked this. And this comes from a subreddit. Royal sources do not recall a fire in baby Archie's hotel room, but a smoking heater. And that was the extent of the disaster. And you can see here from the Daily Mail, moments before the fire is on the left and their engagement after the fire is on the right. They don't look too worried, do they? Lie number 137, Meghan Markle does not care for titles. In 2023, Prince Harry makes clear he and Meghan Markle have no plans to ditch royal titles. You also have here from March 2022 where you can see that Meghan Markle on her Archetypes podcast was still calling herself Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, as a producer. Let's not even talk about the fact they use the whole titles for their Sussex website, Royal Sussex, Sussex Royal, whatever they had to do. I don't know why she would ever say that. The only thing she's ever wanted in life is to become a Disney princess.
And The Little Mermaid came on. Now, who as an adult really watches The Little Mermaid? But it came on, I was like, well, I'm just here all the time, so I may as well watch this. And I went, oh my God. She falls in love with the prince, and because of that, she has to lose her voice. But by the end, she gets her voice back.
Lie number 138, Meghan Markle is 43% Nigerian. So all I have to say about that is that Meghan Markle never showed her evidence of that. It's very easy. I've done it in my last video. I was sponsored by My Heritage DNA, and it was very easy to show the results of my DNA testing. Every other influencer, YouTuber, celebrity who has done an uncovering of their heritage has shown the evidence. It's so easy to give it to you.
When I had done the genealogy and found out about my heritage, the first thing I did obviously was call my mom.
The first thing you should have done is shown us the evidence of the breakdown of your DNA sample. Lie number 139, Meghan Markle said she took care of her own grandmother. Pop quiz, everybody. I need your help down here in the comments. I don't know what she's talking about. She has no connection to her mother's relatives, and she has no connection to her father, in fact, or his relatives. So I'm not sure which grandmother she took care of. I almost think, right, that Meghan Markle meets people and they say profound things to her and she just plagiarizes it. Can you tell me, because I know that a lot of you are grandmothers, can you tell me down in the comments if you have heard about this or what grandmother she was talking about, or if you believe this? Because if I was a grandmother, I would feel highly offended that someone would lie about doing something so caring, like taking care of your elders, when she hasn't. Speaking of family members, number 140, she claimed that she didn't know Samantha Markle's birthday or middle name. Yes, Meghan Markle said she didn't know her half-sister Samantha Markle's middle name or birthday. And this became part of her lawsuit, where Meghan Markle was sued by her half-sister Samantha Markle for defamation. These are the things that Samantha Markle found were defamatory because she, in her opinion, said that Meghan Markle does know her very well. So although those lies might seem very petty to us, birthday, middle name, what are you talking about? It was very strategic on Meghan Markle's part to destroy Sam Markle's book deal. Lie number 141. Straight Outta Compton, written by a New York journal, not from the British press. Okay, so she used this article about Straight Outta Compton to say the British press was being racist towards her because must be all black people come from a ghetto or whatever. In fact, the almost Straight Out of Compton article was written by an LA journalist. But she didn't want anyone to know that because she was trying to spin the narrative that it was the British press that were racist towards her. That's why she had to leave, darling. Nobody literally cared where Meghan came from. The British public accepted her wholeheartedly and was happy that Harry was happy. Number 142, claimed Doria had primary care despite being absent for over 10 years. Doria was in some kind of institution for 10 years. There were accusations allegedly for legal purposes of tax evasion, business fraud, and all kinds of things why Doria had to serve some time. Thomas Markle was not implicated in that, although he gave her the money to start up these businesses and she didn't pay her damn taxes, girl, in America, so Uncle Sam came for her. The point is that she was definitely raised by her father. He has more proof of that. She herself has proof of that. Meghan Markle talked about her upbringing with her father. So I don't know where Doria just drop in now. I think Doria is a desperado. Doria can be paid off easily. And so Meghan is saying, this is a person who raised me. This is a person who knows about me, because Doria will be not say anything. Lie number 143, claimed Thomas Markle's phone was compromised whilst in hospital. I'm not joking. Having a heart attack. Girl, what? Can somebody please tell me about this? Meghan is the eternal victim. Even when she's not the one having the heart attack, mind you, she will still be the victim because his phone was compromised so that people could listen to their conversations and find out what she was talking to. But she didn't call him. She didn't actually care. Tell me more what you think about this and down in the comments. Oh, but she's coming to debunk me in lie number 144, girl. She said that she sent Thomas Markle over 20 texts when he was in hospital. So I'm going to rely on this. Thomas Markle, Meghan Markle's father, has said that he has not heard from his daughter since she wrote him a letter that he called hateful and cruel. Markle said that he has apologized for the incident many times, but that he has not heard back from Meghan or Harry. And you remember this letter. This is an excerpt from it. Daddy, it is with a heavy heart that I write this, not understanding why you have chosen to take this path, turning a blind eye to the pain you're causing. Okay, so that's because he did the paparazzi shoot. He was trying to show off that he's getting ready for the wedding. He was duped into doing it by a more savvy paparazzi. It was sad that that happened to him, but it's not something you should really hold against your father like that, girl. Lie number 145, turn down royal protection for Thomas Markle. I don't know if he was ever offered protection, but if he needed protection, if I was his daughter, I would have brought him into my fold where I had protection. Number 146, insinuation that Thomas Markle used to interfere with her. Well, I have to tell you, I have no idea what that is about. That is something that I do not want to touch with a 10-foot pole. What I did see was that Prince Harry blames himself for Meghan Markle's incredibly sad relationship with dad Thomas Markle. If Meg wasn't with me, he said, then her dad would still be her dad. Prince Harry says of the relationship between wife Meghan Markle and her father Thomas Markle. That doesn't seem to be that there was anything nefarious other than the fact that, you know, Harry was famous and she married him. 147, claimed Doria condemned the Thomas Markle photographs. Can we just get over these photographs with the dressmaker, the suit maker? Can we get over that, please? And sitting down reading a book, Images of Britain. Obviously staged. Okay, he staged some photos. Get over it. Why is Doria now? Well, listen to me. Meghan Markle's mother Doria Ragland breaks silence on ex-Thomas Markle's photo scandal ahead of Prince Harry's wedding. She never had the unmitigated goal to speak out all this time, but all of a sudden she comes here. She's a paid actor, Doria, so it is what it is. And Meghan is as stupid as them, and she should embrace their stupidity. And just be like, this is me with all these stupid family. I don't even know if this woman really came forward and said nothing to anybody. Number 148, H claimed Charles was distant, especially after Diana's death. Tell me what you think of that. I think it was a difficult time for a lot of people. It was so difficult for the public at large. Imagine the people closest to Princess Diana. Now King Charles must have had a bat squeak of guilt as well because of Camilla and the whole hell that he put Princess Diana through. Charles didn't hug Prince Harry after revealing Diana died in a car crash in his memoir. He said this. He said a lot of things though in his memoir that are very questionable. He was physically there with his father through the hard times. So I guess that is just Prince Harry's truth. Number 149, claim about not blindsiding the Queen. I mean, are we here? Are we here in real life right now? Hi, is this real life? Everyone knows that Megxit was blindsiding the Queen. And we all felt terrible for the Queen to have to go through that and try to figure out how to process all of that. Prince Harry says he and Meghan Markle did not blindside the Queen about royal exit. That article was written in 2021, but you see here an article written in 2024 that Prince Harry regretted how he blindsided the royal family with bombshell statement. So which is it? And in that article, he talks about them releasing this statement about them stepping back as working royals and that nobody knew that that was coming. Lie number 150. Harry acted confused about what happened when Megxit didn't work. I'm going to need your help with this. When it comes to Harry feeling confused, that is hearsay, according to this court. And I'm not sure what we must do with that information. Number 151, Harry at Sandringham Summit chose an option, then it was declined. Okay, this is a very complicated thing and it's very important. What Prince Harry said about Sandringham Summit that saw William scream. So the Sandringham Summit was a family meeting to discuss what to do with Meghan and Harry since they're not happy and they want to step back and they want to step forward and they want to be half in and half out and whatever it is. They had a whole summit about that. Now, the Queen says, following many months of conversations and more recent discussions, I am pleased that together we have found a constructive and supportive way forward for my grandson and his family. Harry and Meghan and Archie will always be much loved members of my family. She says, I recognize the challenges that they have experienced as a result of intense scrutiny over the last 2 years and support their wish for a more independent life. It is my whole family's hope that today's agreement allows them to start building a happy and peaceful life. I would say, in my opinion, she's saying that don't let the door hit you on the way out. Like, good riddance. We don't need this drama. In a return statement, Harry and Meghan said they were grateful to the Queen and understood that they were being required to step back from royal duties. Well, I mean, yeah. If you're not part of the family, not part of the firm, like how will you know how to schedule your meetings and your appearances? You're in California, you're out of here. In more evidence, the statement continued to add that the couple would no longer use their HRH, his or her Royal Highness titles, and that they had registered their wish to repay the funds used from the sovereign grant to refurbish their home at Frogmore Cottage. And I think we just discussed that Harry has no intention of giving up the titles for him and Meghan, right? So why haven't they given up the titles? Anyway, he goes on to talk about that he was given these options for what he would do with his life as a non-working member of the royal family. He says 1 being all in, no change. 5 being all out. He said, I chose option 3 in the meeting, half in, half out. Have our own jobs, but also work in support of the Queen. It became very clear, very quickly, that goal was not up for discussion or debate. I remember doing a video on this a long time ago, and I really wanted to know what the other options were out of the 5 because he never said what they were. That's a lot of options for somebody who's just like, I quit. Number 152, Harry claims that they were bullied out of the royal family. I'm just going to show you this picture of Samantha Cohen. Who's the real bully? Lie number 153. Meghan collapsed into the arms of a bodyguard. So did Diana. You have this article from Fandom Wire. I've actually never looked at this source before, but let's have a look together, shall we? I just collapsed in his arms. Meghan Markle had a complete breakdown after leaving England, had to find comfort in her bodyguard's arms. And this is basically a fan fiction of Diana's life, because as we know, Diana did collapse into her bodyguard's arms. According to Brown, Maneki continued to support Diana emotionally, including ahead of speaking events. She kept saying she couldn't go ahead with it and just collapsed in my arms. I hugged her and stopped her crying. What would you have done? Maneki recalled to housekeeper Wendy Barry per Brown's book. Number 154, claimed to have left for safety, not to make money. My favorite part. I remember making timelines of this and all the money they were earning and everything, but here we have one here. Megxit timeline. Prince Harry and Meghan in 2018. They marry. In 2019, Buckingham Palace announces Harry and Meghan will set up their own household. And then in 2020, the Sussexes announce plans to step back from senior roles. The royal family holds a summit to discuss the details. That was a Sandringham summit we just spoke about. In March of the 2020, Meghan and Harry carry out their last official engagement said Commonwealth Day service, they moved to California. In 2021, Meghan and Harry's interview with Oprah airs on CBS. So they waited a whole year to figure out what to lie about in the Oprah interview. In 2022 December, Netflix documentary on Harry and Meghan is released, detailing why couple left royal family. No one asked. And in 2023, you have Spare. Was it not for money? I think if you had left the royal family, Meghan and Harry, and you had done something completely without using the royal family to pay your bills, then people would have assumed you left the royal family just to be happy and to do other things. But the fact that you left the royal family and then used them to make money, it looks like you left. You know what do you know what I'm saying? Is everyone on the same page as me here? It just looks like that's what you did for money. Lie number 155. We're almost done. Just stick with me a minute longer. Royal family turned them down and prevented them from making their own money. You have this whole article here saying all the money they made. We've seen it, Spotify, Netflix, this and that, and interviews and exposing people and lying on slandering and so on and so forth. Okay? And now we're on to the penultimate lie of this series, lie number 156. Story about being stalked by paparazzi on boats in Canada. When did that happen? What we do know did happen was that Meghan staged this paparazzi shoot with Backgrid, who she has a contract with. And you can see here that she's smiling for the camera. She's very happy. She is being photographed at her finest with her dogs and her baby that is very lopsided here. People were complaining that that did not look safe. But anyhow, that's what she thought was good enough for the cameras. And then when, of course, backlash ensued, why are you carrying the baby like that? Why has paparazzi found you in the middle of your hike in the mountains? Why are you staging things to make yourself look more famous? The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have issued a legal warning over paparazzi photos of Meghan and Archie in Canada, complaining that they are being stalked following their split from the royal family, causing them considerable distress. Within hours of Prince Harry joining his wife and son on Vancouver Island for a more peaceful life, the couple's lawyer Schillings sent out a strongly worded letter claiming that the images had been taken by paparazzi who had been hiding in the bushes and spying. So not on boats, that's a bit much. The complaint came after the Sun newspaper published pictures showing a smiling Meghan walking her dogs while carrying her 8-month-old son in a baby sling. The photographs have been published online. And finally, just to rest my valise, we have lie number 157. Meghan Markle accused the Canadian police of not protecting her from the paparazzi or stalkers. You can see here where Canada's Mounties declining further protection to Meghan and Harry. In other words, they had been providing protection to Meghan and Harry prior. That was until the Canadian citizens realized their tax money was going towards protecting these two fools. We, the court, finds the defendant Harkle guilty of lies upon lies upon lies. That concludes this hearing. The Leilani of Barbados court is hereby adjourned. If you made it to the end of this video, good on you. Don't forget to subscribe. It's free. Like the video if you did like it. It does help our algorithm. And yeah, press the bell notification so you see when I come out with my next hearing. Lots of love to you. You know I love you. Bye.